There you are, you're live.
Okay, thanks. All right. So let me flip over screens here. All right. Well, welcome everybody. I guess we've already had kind of our little welcome here, but I just want to read a land acknowledgement to start off. We're meeting here today on the traditional territory of the Teonontate, the Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe people, which is now a home of diverse First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. We acknowledge the Indigenous people who cared for Turtle Island from before the arrival of the settlers to this day. We also acknowledge that Clearview Township is situated on the land covered by Treaty 18 with the Anishinaabe. We are committed to moving forward in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and respect. And at this time, I'm just going to ask for an approval of the agenda. It was sent out by Kayla last week. We've got a few things to discuss, specifically in new business. I just want to make sure everyone's had a chance to read it over, and if there's any questions or additions, to speak now. Hearing none, I'll look for a mover and a seconder.
Councillor Lamers.
Oh, great. Councillor Lamers. Did you have something to add, Melanie, or you're just moving?
John.
Okay, great.
Want to add 8.3 AODA update?
Okay, thank you, John. Thank you. Yep. That's from council, like an update from council, or just in general?
Just in general.
Okay, great. Anything else to add to the agenda? Okay, and mover, okay, thank you, Melanie, and a seconder. Okay, thank you, Councillor Lamers. Mover and a seconder. Any opposition to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll consider it moved. And moving on to the minutes from our June 17th meeting. Was a brief one, but we had a bit of discussion about just about the hall staying closed for the time being. We got a bit of an update on the where everything was at with council in regards to the moving of the AODA renovations and those sorts of things, and also got some updates that there was starting to be some movement for things for the fall. So is there any questions or comments on the minutes as have been posted? Hearing none, everyone's name is spelled correctly then, I'll assume, and get a mover and a seconder for the minutes. Melanie?
I can second that.
Thank you, Karen. And any opposition to the minutes? Wonderful, we'll consider the minutes carried. Anyone need to disclose, oh, I skipped that over. Anyone need to disclose a pecuniary interest at this point in time? Hearing none, we'll move on. Business arising from previous meeting. We haven't had a fundraising subcommittee update. I've been waiting for things to kind of get moving through the council table on the AODA renovations. We do have, I think we have 6 people on the fundraising subcommittee at this point, and I may call a meeting next in the next month before our next meeting. If we've got some movement from council. It sounded I've had some emails with Terry Vachon. It sounds like things might be moving soon. So hopefully that can happen. A rental update. Claire was not able to be here tonight, but I do have her report and I'll read it now. So we have the tables and chairs rented out from August 28th, for the August 28th and September 4 weekends. So there will be no on-site rentals. Don't anticipate any probably anyways, but yeah, we have a tentative rental for September 11th, depending on opening and what the numbers are doing. Claire is looking to speak to the renter by the end of July, and we have a tentative rental for a celebration of life in October, again depending on opening and etc. We have 3 concert dates at this point. We have October 23rd, and then we have 2 weekends actually. I guess we have 3 kind of concert events, I guess. And then the weekend of November 19th, 2021 is Elliott Brood, and the weekend of November 26th, 27th, 28th is Hannah, Georgia. So, and those will be, yeah, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but yeah, those are our concerts. And again, those are, of course, depending on what the capacity will be and what the guidelines are and all that stuff. So we will, of course, work with the health unit and the township as we do that. Is there any questions? I don't know if I can answer them, but
That sounds good that we're getting bookings. People are
yeah,
getting back.
What
yeah.
was the second date or the second November?
I'll open it back up. So the first concert is October 23rd. And then the weekends in November are the 19th, 20th, 21st, and the 26th, 27th, 28th. I'm just flipping over my calendar here. Going old school with a paper calendar. If I can unfumble my fingers. So it's 2 weekends. Yeah, it's a Friday. They're both Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yep. Yep. So, and I think based on, just talking with Sarah and what she's kind of hearing from performers and from the agents and that sort of thing, the musicians are pretty eager to kind of get back out and get on the road and get playing. It's been a year and a half without any of their major source of income. So I think that they of course they want to do it safely, but I think they're raring to go whenever they can get the chance. All right. The next item on the agenda is financial update.
Okay, we unfortunately haven't received an updated statement since our last meeting. Seems like we're just like a week off with our current meeting schedule. However, I'm just putting in the chat here, just so Kayla's got the numbers. So expenses paid since our last meeting: Hydro 1, 91.64, Stevens Fuels 153.12, and then revenue, we have another a donation in memoriam for $200. And all of that is, as per budget. And that's
Great.
really all I have tonight.
Perfect. Any questions on that? Great. Thanks very much, Karen. New business. Okay, so pretty much the big thing that we need to talk about tonight is the plan to reopen. The health unit and we've had a little bit of communication. I've reached out to Amanda. I forwarded you the emails that I got from her about reopening, and basically we need to develop a safety plan. And sorry, I'm just looking for her email here. Pardon me, so I can remember. So there's a few things. There's some stipulations and guidelines that she's sent out, and there are some things that the township can help us with regards to signage and also developing our safety plan. So I've contacted her and asked her for help with that. The gathering limits for a social gathering can be at this point 25 people if the event is held indoors, or 100 if it's held outdoors. If it's a public event at this point, 25 people if the event is held indoors, or 100 people if it's held outdoors, so the same numbers. It looks like it's the same whether you're having a wedding or a celebration of life or those sorts of things as well. So yeah, so at this point, there's some signage that they can help us with. There's also we've got to review some of the policies on hand washing, screening. We need to know who's coming in the building. But I think probably the best approach, or the approach I think we should maybe look at, is kind of opening for September for private rentals, not necessarily like a public rental, and then kind of going from there and seeing how it goes. So anyways, I'm looking for just some discussion on that, I guess. Do we think it's a good idea? A bad idea?
Yes, that's a good idea. Good
Okay.
approach.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Okay. Any questions or concerns about the motion that's been sorry, Ed, was that you there?
They look frozen.
They have their camera off. I can't see them.
Well, I started, but, I guess the,
Pretty broken up, guys.
no, it's not.
Maybe try shutting the camera off. Oh,
Oh.
or get kicked out.
Take them right off.
Rural internet.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully
Yep.
they log back in, because that's our quorum.
Yeah, exactly. Get to the thing we need to vote on here. Really. Just give them a minute or two.
That should be fine. We'll have another meeting or two in time as things open up for the concerts.
Yeah, and I would my thought is that if we pass this motion now, we can go through August working on the safety plan and bring that to the board next month before we plan to actually open on the 1st of September, and then yeah, kind of go from there, and then work on our plan for getting to public events. Yeah. Oh, there they are. We see you guys. Maybe you're in still life. I don't know.
Still frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Might
I think I
have to
saw
move
Ed
the
blink.
Camera off, Ed.
So Bill, in the recommendation,
Mhm.
I can update that to read private rentals and remove other events. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah. That would be. Yeah, private rentals and other events. Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
Thank you for that amendment, for catching that.
Do we have a sense of what the other small halls are doing right now and heading into the fall? Are they in a similar boat?
I know that Duntroon and the station, Duntroon and the station on the green are they are working. I don't know if they've passed their resolutions yet, but I know they're working on opening up as well. That's all I've heard so far.
Brentwood is opening immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we passed the resolution at the last meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last night we did. So we're opening immediately, but nobody's asked for anything yet. So
Maybe
Like
we
no-
can be coordinating on safety plans. I know to a degree they'll be customized to our own spaces, but by and large, there should be some similarities.
Yeah, that's kind of why I reached out to Amanda. I didn't figure there was a big need to, you know, reinvent the wheel. And there's probably some template or some recommendations from the health unit on that that we can use at least as a guide. So that's what I was kind of hoping to get from Amanda.
Yeah, she will have that, and you're
Yep.
right on par with many of the other hall boards. They have some private rentals that are happening that have created specific safety plans to those rentals. So yeah, you're right in line with everybody else right now if you move forward with
Super.
this.
Great, thank you for that.
Do we have plexiglass in our hall?
No, not at this
Okay.
point.
Okay.
No.
I don't know if Ed and Tina can hear me, but maybe if you shut off your video, it'll free up some of your bandwidth.
It's thinking about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can
Audio.
see the little 3 little dots tapping the fingers.
So when we do open the hall, do we have to go in and do some cleaning at all, or will it already be cleaned, or
It's
Like, has
it needs a cleaning. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean I think that's something you know, that's something we can coordinate with Claire usually coordinates with the cleaners, and cleaning is certainly going to be a big part of it. I think, as we all know now, the large concern you know, with this virus is the airborne contaminants and that sort of thing, and the surfaces aren't as big a concern as just the, you know, not having proper ventilation or air filtration. So we'll have to just really manage, I think, our numbers, and then too, you know, I've heard of other things where there's talk of, you know, kind of vaccine type passport things where you know, you have to prove that you've got 2 doses in order to go somewhere or to participate in something. So, you know, there may be stipulations like that, and I think probably as we get into the fall, those sorts of things might become a little more refined from the health unit, from the province too. So we'll have to see.
okay?
Well, maybe we'll come back to this motion, or what else do we have to discuss?
Yard
Oh,
sale.
the yard sale, yeah. So we'll just kind of table that for a moment here. We've had a request from a neighbor. Can't remember their name. They reached out to us through Facebook. They live in the White House that's down the alley behind the hall, and they wanted to have a yard sale on the using the parking lot. I don't know if we've really had that kind of a request before, but I don't see any problem with that. Does anybody else have an issue with that?
As long as we got nothing else booked that weekend, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll reach out to them and just see what the dates are and make sure that they're not going to coincide with the wedding or that sort of thing. You had some AODA updates, Councillor Lammers.
Yeah, Terry's making a presentation. It was supposed tentatively August 9th for Brentwood and Avening at 2 o'clock. It's going to be on YouTube. And then Sunnydale and Ottawasaga on the 11th. But we were just informed tonight that those dates may change. So
Okay.
Terry's presenting 2 halls one day and 2 halls another day to council.
And okay, what is he's just presenting what we've given him, I guess, at this point?
Yeah, he's had discussions
Okay.
with the hall board members and chairs.
Yeah.
He's put it all together and now he's presenting it to council for discussion.
Okay. Are you anticipating that a decision will be made at those on those dates, or is it just an information meeting?
Just an information meeting.
Okay. Okay. All right.
One more step further.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, we are still waiting for Ed and Tina.
I did send them an option of a phone link. Oh, I see them here.
Oh,
Give me a second. And
thank you for that, Kayla. That's excellent.
they should be able to join. Oh, there we go.
Can you see me or see us?
Can hear you. Can hear you.
No
All right.
seeing.
Okay, well, we're on the iPad. I couldn't
Okay.
get on with we couldn't get on with the computer. It just kept kicking us out.
Okay. Well, we can hear you. That's a good start. We'll go back. We just went through 8.2 and 8.3 while you guys were figuring that out. So we'll go back to the hall reopening. Did you guys have some comments to make there?
Yeah, some
I guess the ACC does not have to follow all the other guidelines. We can make ours more stringent than what the opening plan is, if we wish. Would that be correct?
Yes, we can make them more strict. I don't think we can make them less strict. Like we'll have
No,
to follow
but-
the minimum. When you said make our own plan. But yeah, we can add some extra safety measures if we wish. Yep. I was explaining to everyone else, I don't know if you heard it, if you guys heard it or not, but Amanda has offered to help with developing a safety plan for the hall. So I've sent her an email about getting some assistance with that. And my thought was that if we have this motion now, then we'll get going on the safety plan and I can present it at the next meeting in August, and the safety plan, I mean, and before we open. And the thing too about this is that with this motion is that we would open to private rentals first, basically for a month to kind of see how it goes, and then look at opening up. And as you know, vaccines become more prevalent and those sorts of things, and kind of see how everything progresses, we can move on that. So that's kind of the thinking there, guys.
What do you think? Sound good?
Yes.
Yes, we're good with that.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, it's great to have you back, because now we can actually make the decision. So
Okay.
the motion has been printed in the agenda. We did add so the motion in the agenda says, be it resolved, the Avening Community Center Board hereby approve reopening to the hall rentals and other events with appropriate safety plan and measures in conjunction with provincial and health unit regulations beginning September 1st. We have a slight amendment to that, basically that the hall would be opening to private rentals and other events. So for just kind of like I explained to you guys, like that we would open at first for private rentals, wedding, that we have a wedding, hopefully they're hoping to have it on the 11th, and there's a celebration of life in early October. So those sorts of rentals would be allowed, not a public event at this point. So that's the slight change to that motion.
Okay.
Is there a mover and a seconder for that? Melanie? And a seconder?
Sure, I can second that.
Thank you, Karen. And all in favor? Maybe I'll go around the table because people got their cameras off. So Melanie and Councillor Lamers, I see you're in favor. Karen, are you in favor of that motion?
Correct.
Great. And Ed and Tina?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, we'll consider that motion carried. And just a brief update on the other new business that we discussed while you guys were away. There's the folks who live in the White House behind the hall were wondering if they could have a yard sale and use part of the hall. I was going to recommend that they use the lawn right beside the alleyway there. But I was just kind of letting people know that if you see a yard sale going on, that's what's going on. And Councillor Lamers just shared that Terry Vachon is bringing the Avening proposal to council for information on the 9th of August, I think you said?
Yep.
Great. Okay, any other, anything else that needs to be discussed at this point? All right, our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, August 19th. Is that okay with everyone?
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry, I won't be available that day. But if I'm the only one, don't hold it up.
I'm kind of wondering if we should bump it a week to the 26th anyways, just to.
That was my sneakiness. I'm away the next week.
Oh, you're away the next week.
Yes, that was
What?
a self-serving.
You get time off?
They do allow it occasionally.
Occasionally.
All right. Well, you're a pretty important part of the whole machinery here, Kayla. So I guess we will go with the 19th. It'll put the pressure on me to get the safety plan done. I was self-serving. I was going to try and delay it a week so I could have more time to get the safety plan done, but okay. All right, go to your schedule.
I can be the teacher, you can be the student.
Yeah,
Welcome to life, Bill.
Yeah.
Jokes.
Yeah. Okay, so we will go on the 19th of August at 7:30. Okay, I need a mover and a seconder to adjourn. Melanie and